You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach? It's Friday afternoon, you've had a great month of sales, the team is celebrating, but then you look at the bank balance, and it just doesn't match up. The work is done, the invoice is sent, but the money isn't there.
Ah, the classic rich on paper, poor in the bank syndrome. It's the silent killer of small businesses, and honestly, even the big ones.
Exactly. And that leads to what I think is the most dreaded task in the corporate world, the chase. You know, having to pick up the phone or type out that awkward email asking, "Hey, remember me? You owe us money. Why is this still such a massive problem in 2025?
It's fascinating, isn't it? We have AI writing poetry and cars driving themselves, yet finance teams, especially here in Southern Africa, are still operating like it's 1995. They're manually tracking spreadsheets, highlighting overdue rows in red, and sending sporadic, often emotional emails. The problem isn't just that it's annoying, it's that it creates a bottleneck. When you rely on manual collections, you are introducing human error, human hesitation, and human inconsistency into the very lifeblood of your business. Your cash flow.
That word hesitation is interesting, because I think a lot of people hesitate because they don't want to ruin the client relationship. They don't want to be the bad guy.
Precisely, and that's the irony we need to unpack today. The manual approach actually damages the relationship more. Think about it. If you're a finance manager and you're busy, you might forget to follow up on an invoice for 2 weeks. Then, suddenly, you realize cash is tight, so you panic and send a stern, maybe slightly aggressive email. The client feels blindsided. It's inconsistent. 1 month you're lenient, the next you're demanding. That inconsistency breeds mistrust.
So, the manual chase is actually hurting the brand image, not just the bank account.
100%. And let's look at the specific context here, particularly in dynamic markets like Namibia and the broader Southern African region. We are dealing with unique economic pressures. If your cash flow is stuck in accounts receivable, you can't restock, you can't invest, you can't handle an emergency. You are essentially acting as a free bank for your clients, offering them interest-free loans because you're too polite or too disorganized to collect.
Ouch! Acting as a free bank. That is a painful way to put it, but it's true. So, if the manual way is broken, what is the alternative? Are we talking about hiring a massive team of debt collectors, or installing some multi-million-dollar ERP system that takes 2 years to learn?
No, and that's the good news. The era of the heavy, expensive overhaul is over. We're seeing a shift toward what I call low-effort, high-impact automation. It's not about replacing your entire accounting software, it's about layering a smart communication workflow on top of it.
Break that down for me. What does that actually look like in practice?
It's about meeting the payer where they are. Look, email is great, but how many unread emails do you have right now?
Too many to count. I probably ignore half of them.
Exactly. But how many unread WhatsApp messages do you have?
0. I check those instantly.
Bingo. The modern solution, and this is something companies like InTouch Namibia are really pioneering, is using automated sequences that combine email with WhatsApp. But here is the key. It's structured. It's not random. The system detects an invoice is due, and it sends a polite, professional reminder. If it goes overdue, the system waits a preset amount of time and sends a gentle nudge. If it's still unpaid, the tone shifts slightly. It's consistent, it's relentless in a polite way, and it removes the human emotion from the equation.
I see. So because it's a machine, it never has a bad day. It never forgets. It just executes the strategy.
Correct. And there's another layer to this that is absolutely critical. Friction.
Friction?
Yes. The harder it is to pay you, the longer I will wait to do it. If I get a reminder that says please pay invoice Hasson23 and I have to log into my bank, add you as a beneficiary, type in the reference number, double check the amount, I'm going to put that off until I have time, which is never.
That's my life. I'll do it later, and later becomes next week.
But if that WhatsApp reminder has a secure one-click pay link right there in the message, I tap it, it opens my local payment gateway, whether that's an EFT, instant EFT, or mobile money option, and I authorize it with my Face ID or thumbprint. Done. 30 seconds.
So you're removing the excuse. You're making it easier to pay than to not pay.
Exactly. You are removing the administrative friction. This is how you impact a metric called DSO days sales outstanding. It's a boring accounting term, but it's the most important number in your business. It measures how long it takes from the moment you make a sale to the moment the cash hits your account. Automation compresses that timeline dramatically.
I want to go back to the relationship aspect. We touched on it earlier. If I start sending automated messages, do I risk sounding like a robot? Do I lose that personal touch that small businesses, especially in places like Namibia, really value?
It's a valid fear, but let me flip it on its head. Automation actually protects the personal relationship.
How so?
When the system sends the reminders, the system is the bad guy. The system is the strict one. You, the business owner or the relationship manager, get to stay the good guy. You can call the client to talk about a new project or a new opportunity, and you don't have to start the call with, "By the way, you owe me $5,000. The software handles the transaction, you handle the relationship. It separates the money talk from the value talk.
That is a profound psychological shift. You're outsourcing the awkwardness to the algorithm.
Precisely. And think about your finance team. What are they doing right now? They are spending hours cross-referencing spreadsheets, typing emails, leaving voicemails that nobody listens to. That is low-value, high-stress work. If you automate the chase, what does that team do instead?
They can actually analyze the data. They can do forecasting. They can look at strategy.
Yes, they move from being reactive, putting out fires, to being proactive. They can focus on the exceptions. If the automation runs for 30 days and a client still hasn't paid, okay, now a human needs to intervene. Maybe there's a dispute, maybe the client is in trouble, but the human is only dealing with the 5% of problems, not the 95% of routine collections. That is a massive efficiency gain.
It sounds like we're talking about scalability too. You can't scale a business if your collections process relies on one person remembering to send emails.
You really can't. As you grow, the volume of invoices grows. If your collections process is manual, your admin costs grow linearly with your revenue. Automation breaks that link. You can double your invoice volume without hiring a single extra person in accounts receivable. That is how you build a scalable, resilient business model.
You mentioned the Southern African market specifically earlier. Is there something about this region that makes this technology even more urgent?
I think so. The market here is incredibly relational, but it's also subject to cash flow volatility. We have unique banking systems and payment behaviors. Using tools that integrate with local payment gateways, things people actually use here, not just generic international credit card processors, is vital. And WhatsApp penetration in Southern Africa is astronomical. It's the primary way business gets done. If you aren't utilizing that channel for collections, you are leaving money on the table.
It's leveraging the culture rather than fighting against it.
Exactly. It's modernizing without losing the local context.
So, let's say I'm listening to this and I'm realizing, wow, my DSO is terrible, my team is burnt out, and I'm terrified of checking my bank balance. What is the first step? Is this a 6-month implementation?
Not at all. That's the beauty of these modern low-code or specialized tools. You can be up and running in days, sometimes hours. It's about connecting your data source to the communication platform. For the listeners in Namibia specifically, InTouch Namibia is doing exactly this. They help set up these workflows.
And I assume they handle the scary part, the integration?
They do. They help you map out the sequence. When does the first email go out? What does the WhatsApp say? How do we generate the pay link? They build that architecture so you can just press play.
It seems like one of those changes where, once you do it, you look back and wonder how you ever survived without it.
It is. It's like moving from washing clothes by hand to using a washing machine. Sure, you can do it by hand, but why would you? Your time is too valuable. And in business, your cash is too valuable to be stuck in someone else's bank account.
That's the takeaway for me. Your cash is stuck in someone else's bank account. Every day it sits there. It's losing value for you and gaining value for them.
And in a high inflation environment, or an economy where liquidity is king, speed is everything. Speed of service, yes, but speed of payment is what keeps the lights on.
We've covered the tech, the psychology, and the strategy. As we wrap up, I want to ask you a broader question. We are seeing automation touch every part of our lives. Do you think this shift towards automated financial interactions is going to make business colder? Or is it just making us more honest?
That's a deep question. I don't think it makes us colder. I think it makes us clearer. Ambiguity is the enemy of business. "I'll pay you soon" is ambiguous. A scheduled reminder with a payment link is clear. Clarity builds trust. When expectations are set and met automatically, everyone relaxes. The client knows what to expect. You know when the money is coming. It removes the anxiety. And I think a business world with less anxiety and more clarity is a better place to be.
Clarity builds trust. I love that. It's not just about the money, it's about the integrity of the operation.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who wants to stop the chase and start fixing their cash flow, the solution is right there. Talk to InTouch Namibia. Don't let your growth be held hostage by manual admin.
Well said. It's time to stop chasing and start growing. Thanks for shedding light on this. It's a topic that doesn't get enough airtime, but literally pays the bills.
My pleasure. Always happy to help businesses get paid faster.
And to our listeners, check those invoices, look at your process, and ask yourself, are you a business owner or are you just a debt collector? Until next time.